Hey there, Max here, and we are back with some more Cultist Simulator. Alrighty then, last we left off, we cleared up a good amount of in the land beyond the forests. We got quite a bit more of a power-up with our various lures. We got a bit more Spintria, and then we spent a lot of more Spintria trying to see what kind of experiments we could try to fix some of this decrepitude. Because we're running a little low on health. Okay, now since I'm pretty sure that is actually not going to work, I am going to go ahead and focus a little bit more on working with our books. So we'll go ahead and finish off some translations for these other tomes we recently got a hold of. We're going to focus on getting rid of that notoriety because we're kind of in a bit of a pickle coming on up. And then we're going to focus on reading a lot of these books we have because we have a lot of books. And then we'll get back to doing a bit of work. Alright, let's go ahead and heal you up. It is just too easy to be able to miss out when you got a sickness going on you. I might want to move this up even just a smidge more. Because it is that important. Try to keep this somewhere in my line of sight now. But there's got to be something you can actually be able to properly do with this. Why wouldn't you be able to? And if they would just... Because unlike the other ones, they just kind of go ahead and disappear. But these ones, they actually hang around. I don't know if it's there just to remind you, hey, you slipped up. Which is, you know, always possible with these kind of games. But there's got to be something you can do with them. I guess they are the aspect of winter, so you theoretically could do something. Wait. Shoot! I completely blanked out and forgot to paint out the notoriety. Well, that's that. We're gonna end up getting more evidence on us. Wonderful. That's fine. We have a bunch of book reading and stuff to do. Oh! Wonderful. It actually failed. Okay, we're great. We don't have to do anything then. In that case, we will go ahead and take this time to finish up the lands beyond the forest. I guess we're going to be sending Dorothy out now, because she's now a bit stronger on things. Alright, where are we heading? We're in the Cave of Candles. Every 7th sunset, once again, the number 7 keeps coming up. The cunning man comes from the village below to renew the candles. The floor of the entrance chamber is slick with sticking wax. He claims the light keeps the creatures below cowed. But more likely the sacrifices he brings keep it too sated to emerge. The ascent to the cave through the high passes will be dangerous. Whatever awaits in the darkness below is probably more dangerous still. We shall find out for sure then. And then we'll do the Foxley Meadows, and then that'll clear everything up from that particular level of things. Woo! Another Tantradon. And then we got one of the Fucini. Did I already do this one? I already did this one, didn't I? Yes. No, it's fact. I'm a silly boy. Alrighty then. We literally just had a notoriety visit. What the heck, mate? Oh, it's gonna be fine. Okay, Forge in winter or Mother's power defeated in battle. Well, we're going to have to go for the battle, I think. And let's move these books a little bit more inside, since it's going to be a while before I can find out where to get a Parisian tome. Who knows? Maybe one of these books will teach it to me. I did it again! Oh my goodness, it is so easy to just kind of forget exactly what you're doing. Well, third time's a charm, I guess. Strong in Forge will probably be fine. Well, let's get a little bit stronger in Forge, if you don't mind me saying. So when it says the power of the mother, I wonder which mother it's talking about. Isn't there like a few different mothers? I'm guessing if it's mother of ants, then that means Enoch, isn't it? Because they make tunnels. Alright, it's time to read more books. On the matter and the deeds of serpents. This was probably the prophecies of the Naga, rendered into English and illustrated by William Midnight in Paris in the 1880s. But it shows a number of divergences from that text. It's certainly quite recent by the standards of back texts. The serpent folk called the Great Hooded Princes came to know the order called the House of Leith and warred across the miles with them. They made an alliance with the mother of ants whose children they had been. So when okay. So Great Hooded Princes is, I think these are other cults, I'm thinking here. Great Hooded Princes was clearly a cult of serpents. And House of Leith was another high-level cult, I believe, that was just between, like they were on the cusp of being ours, I think. Alright, let's get some money, shall we? Wonder if there's a way to turn reason into health. Or health into reason, and such as that. Alright, well. Hey, we got lucky again! Holy cow! We got very lucky there. In fact, we're so lucky, I'm thinking of, sending out one of our folks to go seduce a person and bring us back a prisoner, if you don't mind. Let's see. Okay, looks like they got through that job pretty well. And then we're probably going to bring our edge person into the other side, too. The text describes how the Great Hooded Princes escaped, or will escape, from the Fifth Histories, where they had died, or were doomed to die. They engaged in the secret conquest of the land of the Great River, called India in some histories. Interesting. Land of the Great... Is because that's the Ganges? And have ensured that all other conquests of that land are false conquests. Formulae of Indian. Serpents are the visitors which may not be denied. Alright, that's a high-level knock spell. Nice. Well, not spell, but lore. Next. Sunset Passages. A miscellany of the funerary prayers, ceremonies, and hymns of the Church of the Unconquered Sun, which was ascendant in the 3rd and 4th histories. It schismed during the intercalate when the sun was divided and has not survived as a significant force. 3rd and 4th histories, huh? So, 3rd and 4th histories. So the 3rd and 4th histories. I'm not sure if that is a specific time period. But that seems to be when the sun was divided. Okay. That gives us a little bit more of a time level of things, doesn't it? The church revered the sun and splendor before it was divided, but even while it was still whole, its later selves were recognized as its names. The Madrigad, of course, presided over death and the passage into the house. The passage into the house? Passage into the house. The white door? Huh. Madrigad. Is that what they call Ghibli, or Ghibli, or whatever his name is over on the stag door? Alright, here we go. Let's bring a little edge to the serp. Why can't I take you there? You're wounded! Oh, frick. Options, too many options. Okay. Alright, once you get out of there, we're gonna go ahead and have to pull you back in then. Here. Get some opium to... Oh, good lordy, lordy, lordy. Things are nuts right now. Oh. Okay. The white ceremony was spoken to honor the Madrigad. At funerals held in the chilly space before dawn, the text cautions that all blades should remain sheathed while the ceremony is spoken, lest the corpse not be that quiet. The white ceremony. Okay, well that's a little bit of white. Cool. Let's go ahead with the next book. A True and Accurate History of the Shadowless Kings. A True and Accurate History of the Shadowless Kings by Isaac of Karth. Isaac describes the 1,000-year ascendancy of the Shadowless Empire. Okay. The first and greatest history is described in herein. The Persian Empire, the sons of Archimedes, the Shadowless Kings, the most glorious empire, survives the assaults of Alexander the Great and flourishes as late as the 5th century. Okay. Alright. Hey, we actually pulled one. And unfortunately, we're going to end up having another one of these things coming up. Okay, we're going to have to heal you ASAP. Not sure what wounded you there, but okay. And you made it through. Good job, guys. Remember I said 3rd time's a charm? I didn't think it was going to be a little literally. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother with anything else. We don't want to be too crazy. I think the more we put towards it, the more it actually affects stuff. I think. Or at least you're going to find out. In fact, I'm not even going to do any paints in there. And let's see. Okay, well, he's clear. After the fall of Rome, the Shadowless Empire takes Byzantium under its wings and moves east against the land of the Great River. That land of the Great River, we just learned that that was India. Isaac begins to recount the invasion struggling against the unskinned armies of the Hooded Serpents. Oh, okay, unskinned. But ends abruptly with a series of incantations that he claims allowed the Shadowless Empire to persist. Woo! Nice. We could actually upgrade that for another level. Alright, nice. But let's keep reading, shall we? The Ivory Book, a manual of the Ordo Lumiere, an order of quasi-immortals who maintained a secret enclave at the source of the river Limia, in the Roman province of Hispania Galicia. The manual was compiled by one Kurenai, who claims to have fled the tyranny of the Chrysanthemum throne to cross the world and join the Ordo. Chrysanthemum throne. I wonder what that is a reference towards. Must see either China or Japan, if I think about it. Members of the Ordo took an oath. The ivory chain, not to have commerce with the hours. Followed literally, this would be almost impossible for an adept, so the manual contains numerous clarifications, exceptions, and processes of indulgence. Interesting. So I wonder if they might have been the ancestors of the Suppression Bureau. Alrighty, we passed that test. A nest of lights, a little cache of treasures culled over the years from the serpent's meals. It has nosed them into a glinting pile. So I take it, inside that cave, there was a bunch of snakes. Account of Kanishk at the serpent's door, that's Aramaic. Sky and the soul, Aramaic. Ichor Vitreous. Ooh, baby, that's a level 12. That's a good one for us. That, my friends, is how you get a nice power-up. That's 4 more points to our final ritual. Nice, nice, nice. Ooh, and 6 more with one of these. You know, that makes me actually... Wait, what happened? Overexposure. All audiences are fickle. Okay. Oh, well, that could have gone better and worse at the same time. Alright, Victor is now better. He has 2 scars now. Now, when it says 3 scars of the same type, I do wonder if that is meaning, you know, well, I guess we're going to find out soon enough at some point, aren't we? Still, the scars do kind of have their small bit of use, I suppose. Alrighty then. I want to try something here, because we got ourselves a lot of strong stuff. Let's see. Offering of some sort. Okay. Don't want to use... Well, wait. Let's see what options we have. Invocations, Assistant, and Offering. How much can we get? We're not actually using it yet. 24. And then 36. I think that would let us just be able to make things happen, wouldn't it? I think we could technically win the game already. Or, I'm sorry, become immortal. We just have to get 3 bodies, and then that would be it. Anyways, let's go ahead and have Dorothy do her thing again. I want to get rid of all that notoriety if we can. Alright, let's work again. And that's going to take a while for it to go away on its own. What's behind the spider's door today? Kurenai describes the Order's burial rites, which include spells to ensure, in theory, that the souls of dead long are not given to the Hours. The Hour called the Ivory Dove, who memorializes and commemorates, is to be invoked, in secret, in these rites. For with that Hour we have made an understanding. Interesting. So if I recall, the Long are basically very powerful cultists that somewhat follow, like, almost directly under the Hours in some way, or at least are, like, the highest, so far, from what I've been hearing, are pretty much the highest thing. Oh, great, it's one of those. Alright, we'll put that over there. This Twin Serpent Tantra. Just before the outbreak of the Great War, Alexander Sparrow, almost certainly a pseudonym, published leaflets claiming the influence of snake princes on world affairs. The text called the Twin Serpent Tantra was his primary inspiration. The Tantra describes the Great Hooded Princes, a dynasty of princes of unclear origin. I wonder if they're supposed to be of Egypt. Engaging in prayers, sacrifices, and poetry in honor of the Key Serpents, the Crossroads Twins, and the Mirror Queen, Nagai encircles, Nagi arises from wounds, Nagi spares those who are already harmed. It is so interesting reading all these lores and texts. Chamber of Ways. Let's see. Pounding Airs. The Mallory. Ah, we got nothing out of it, really. No, but that is some strong influences you could get. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I'm in the mood for some hunting some people, so I guess... I mean, we've got these 3 things. I think maybe we could go for the ending. Well, I want to read all these books and do everything we can in this playthrough as best we can here. That way all the future ones I don't have to do nearly as much. At least that's my excuse for it. The Great Hooded Princes are described as having escaped from the history of their death to a history where they yet live. The text claims that there are now 108 of them, but in one of many instances of the twinnedness. Before they crossed from their death chronicle, there were only 54. Wait, what? 8, 54. 8. Wait a minute, so they doubled. Right now. Interesting. Did I already have this one? I thought I did. Yes, I do. Okay, fascinating stuff. So there was about 108 of these hooded princesses. Oh yes, Matthias and his amethyst Imago. An account of an occult romance. A certain mech claims to have written this in a single night as part of an initiation into the Theban branch of the House of Leith. That order of immortals who use the arts of water to conceal themselves. Okay, I'm wondering if a long is an immortal. That would actually kind of make sense, because the long-lived kind of things. Matthias defied us to hunt the names of the moth in the wood to populate his pin collection. The amethyst imago has dallied with the witch and sister, but she'd returned to the wood to plead the mother's pardon. The moth, as a whim of a penance, sent her out to lure the long to a slough of nightmare. Wait, this might answer my question here. The amethyst imago had dallied with the witch, but she'd returned to wood to plead with the moth's pardon. The moth, as a whim of a penance, sent her out to lure the long to a slough of the nightmares. Invited us to hunt the names of the moth in the wood. The amethyst imago had dallied with the witch and sister, but she returned to wood to plead the moth's pardon. Slough of nightmares. Unless the long is actually a specific one as well. That's so confusing. Let's read it. Maybe it'll say which long it was. I don't know if the long is an individual or if the long is a group of individuals. Dang it. Because I believe the names are the ones that are under the hours. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to get it all in my head, and I want to make notations and things now at this point. Give you my reason. Got some desire coming up. Maybe we should start feeding some bodies. What do y'all think? And I'll tell you what, if I end up accidentally hitting one of my health again, then I think we'll go ahead and try and get to the ending of things. Because, I won't want to have to repeat everything for nothing. I would like to get some achievements. Matthias loved the imago. Did he? Can long love? Matthias was a long. Can long love or has the organ of their soul desiccated beyond repair? The imago loved Matthias. Did she, or did she only enact a whim? He pursued her through the wood, but at the last she turned aside from the nightmare slough, and they lay together where the bounds grow bright. So they learnt the Grail's pleasures, and this is the lore they won. Yeah, the Grail's pleasures. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, well that answers my question then, that a long is a group of people. Or it is a certain group of people. Or, you know what I mean. They are people. Not one person. And Matthias was a long. Interesting. The Silver Book. A manual of the Ordo Lamea. An order of quasi-immortals who maintain a secret in quasi-immortals. Not actual immortals. Maybe a long is an actual immortal, perhaps? And that's why they're not called longs? Okay, we'll see. In the Roman province of I need to really change that setting that makes this thing last longer. This manual was compiled by one Berzagash, who explains that he came to join the Ordo from the city of messenger eagles, after he abandoned the service of the ivory dove. Members of the Ordo took an oath, the silver chain, that forbade men to lie with women or women with men. For what may come is not always the crime of the sky, yet that is a furious danger. It was apparently permissible for men to lie with men and women to with women. In fact, Berzakash suggests that should be encouraged to distract from other temptations. Well, that's quite the opposite from what you normally hear. Alrighty, from... Uh-oh. Dorothy! Dorothy, stop playing with that book I gave you. And start getting rid of some of this notoriety, would you please? Once one of these goes away, I'll go ahead and do the Fox Lily Meadows. But yeah, today is going to be all about going over these tomes, I think. The manual prescribes potential countermeasures to protect those who might be tempted to go against the oath. Masks, disfigurement, severe poetic disciplines. Those who do break it are to be punished with death, although there are lesser punishments prescribed for various acts that don't involve actual coitus. An invocation is included, which was used to incorporate these punishments into summoning rites. Right, okay. Those who do break it are to be punished with death, although there are lesser punishments prescribed for various acts that don't involve actual coitus. So basically, this is all about... Oh, lovely. Okay, so they love their coitus stuff. Okay. Or don't like it, I guess. book. Here we go. We got another Ordo one. Okay. The Iron Book. The Manual of the Ordo Limia. Limae? Limae. An order of quasi-immortals who maintain a secret and collide with the source of the river Limia. Oh! Source of the river Limia. River Limia. I wonder if that's what they're referring to the Great River? In the Roman province of Hispania Galicia, the manual was compiled by some guy, Malirai Yivni, who claims to have traveled to join the Ordo from the crossroads of the waters. The Nile Delta? Crossroads of the waters. Or is that the Middle East? Or is it the top of... Or maybe it's meeting the Euphrates? It is very difficult. There's a lot of rivers in the world. Why is it that this is making me want to try and track whatever this silly information all is? It's safe to say none of this takes involved in the Americas, though. Never seen anything refer to the New World or the Americas or any kind of land like that. It's all in the Europeans and the Asias. Which is fair, I guess. That's usually where all the things are happening, and it's not like anyone's writing any real books over on the Americas just yet. Oops. Why would I just put a book? I got overexcited, I think. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the Foxley Meadows and see what happens. I always wonder what the sending part is. I wonder if there's like a ritual or something that you can send stuff in to make it like, I don't know. Just get stuff in an automatic win or something. Let's send someone from Forge and send someone to Moth this time and see what... No, wait, we haven't seen much on Moth here. Let's go with... let's take... Let's send Slee. What's the worst that can happen? Path of the mountains okay, the path through the mountains to the high meadow will be hard. The peasants of the mountains will seek to drive us away. If we return home safe, we may struggle to shake off the visions of the place. Maybe we should have gone with some edge. Alrighty, good job there, I think. Okay, we don't have to worry about the next one then. But we do want... Let me just make sure there isn't anybody who's wounded really quick, because... I think not, because we've already had a Season of Silence, and I think that's when the wounded people die, so I'm... Yeah, I think we're fine. I will go ahead now and send out somebody to do a little capturing. The final part of the manual describes the punishments for Ordo members who break their oath of secrecy. They love their oaths, don't they? This includes an invocation caused to summon the spirit called King Crucible as an agent of vengeance. Yivni cautions that this must be a last resort when the Oathbreaker would otherwise go unpunished. Summoning King Crucible might draw the personal attention of the Forge of Days. Ooh, a Forge one. Okay. Nice, nice. Next! In the mountains! In the mountains as upon the plain, there may not be a path where none has passed. Ninigala of Lagash describes the secrets to be found in the mountains. Ninigala tells a number of lively stories about riddling ogres and wars between mountain tribes, but turns somber in the tale of the empty-handed hunter, a lover of the Grail who sought to match her appetites and join her as an hour, but in the end rent and devoured himself, giving his name to the mountains he had once roamed. Turns somber in the tale of the empty-handed hunter, a lover of the Grail who sought to match her appetites and try to become another hour. So the empty-handed hunter was someone who wanted to become an hour, but failed. Interesting. Alrighty, we got 3 challenges. One's a curse, not good. Heart or winter? Let's immediately bring someone with the heart side of things. And let's see. Because winter will shield us. Okay, we're going to want somebody from the winter side of things then. Because winter seems to have an advantage in 2 stuff. So I'm going to go with winter. And fought, seduced, or deceive. So we're going to have to bring edge into this as well, looks like. Lovely. The Madrugod is strong in winter. Probably she will keep us from avalanches. The Madrugod, that's the one who guards the... Okay. So that is a thing. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring them in. The hour... Oh, the Madrugod is an hour. Okay. What you're called, the Madrugod is a home in the cold. So the Madrugod is pretty much the one who is... Not stands before the white door, but is in favor of the white door. Or you could find them at the white doors before the house, I guess. Interesting stuff. Oh, I can't believe they writ all this stuff. I am excited for the third game that they're planning on making. Oh, this stuff is looking good. The lore, it's crazy. I love it. Ninagala claims that the Hours, who sometimes manifest as birds, the laughing thrush, the ivory dove, the beach crow, and the witch and sister meet at a secret location. Okay, so these are actually other Hours. Okay, cool. Meet at a secret location on a mountaintop and exchange gossip unheard by their peers. Now and then, a mortal overhears them. The mortal is always obliterated, and the meeting place always changes. Oh, no! Now it's poor mortals! That's not good. Oh, we got some more moth now. Nice. And another one of the secret histories. Good. 26 enticements and 7 torments. The painter, Niels Frederick Mauskater, notoriously attempted a series of paintings based on the torments. By the 5th torment, the man's painting had grown so dire that he died of blood loss. The diagrams in this text are thankfully less detailed. Pace yourself, dude. If you're gonna do cultist artistry with your blood, you gotta pace yourself, my man. Jesus. The enticements of the Grail outnumber its torments, but its torments are its final nature. Birth is the 1st torment, and thirst the 7th. By the 5th torment. Oh my goodness. Well, good to know that we've learned something else. Oh dear lordy. Cults and their bloody rituals, literally. And we still haven't even found what'll teach us Phrygian. We have ourselves another captured person. Good. We need a few more of those. Okay, get rid of the notoriety if you'd be so kind. Our expedition plans for stuff, so we got past through that. Let's go ahead and bring someone with some edge to him. Yeah, you've got too many wounds, so let's go ahead and bring you up here. Wait, what? Oh, Seska Slee is in here. Cool. Wait, does the lantern work over here too? Heart or winter? Which, yeah, I've got 2 winters, so that's fine. We should be fine with that. Alright. Through the enumeration of the Grail's enticements and torments winds the sorrowful history of the Witches of the Dry Land. Witches of the Dry Land, okay. The ordeal of birth from 2 wombs. Their struggle from and supplication of the Grail. The yearning for union which drives them all. Wait. Grail's enticements and torments. Witches of the Dry Land. The ordeal of birth from 2 wombs. Is this about the witch and the sister? Or is that a different group? It's always hard to tell because some people will name things other things. The Horus Book 2, an occasional coherent catalog of the secret gods. This is an English translation of a volume describing the enmity between the Lionsmith and the Tribune of Scars. Ooh, a Lionsmith and Tribune of Scars. This volume deals mostly with the Lionsmith, the Tribune of Scars, and their enmity. I need to get a corkboard. Let me know in the comments if I got a corkboard, you would love to see whatever results I come with all the details that I find out from this game, Book of Hours, and its sequel. Or the third book, or the third game that comes out. I'm sure somebody has done it. Now, should I use the prisoner to go behind the door, or should I just let him get fed to my desires? It's always hard to tell what to decide to do. I think we might be fine. As long as I pay attention. Yeah, sure. We'll be fine. Or, you know, maybe we'll get lucky and Dorothy will eat our problems. The Watchers aren't ready for us. We should be able to bring them down. Let's bring them down a little more, shall we? Thank you very much. Down, 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 down. Yep, there they go. They are down. Wait. They should not have opposed us. We move on! We move on! Dorothy, you're a genius. And we're second. Great. Now from here... The Lionsmith makes monsters to defeat the Tribune, but the scars of the Tribune are each a weapon. Okay. The Lionsmith makes monsters. Oh! Lionsmith. A beast, but they're basically a beast maker. Okay. And that's what they mean by making monsters. Okay. You've got my attention on that, although you didn't really give me much. The irreproachable traditions. The irreproachable traditions of the Society of the Noble Endeavor. The members of the Society of the Noble Endeavor adopted noble names at their initiation. Parsifal, Roland, Oysen. They drew their inspiration from the Leashed Flame, which gave the island of Britain such appalling power in some histories. One Samuel Partridge has chronicled their efforts. Okay. Next. Their endeavor was no less noble, a furious arcane conflagration which would refine them into something more than human. But such transformations are rare, and they are often ended less nobly in ashes. Cool. Alright, so we got ourselves the prisoner. What... Should we get 3 and just win it? Nah. We're reading all the tomes. Well, I might feed the hunger a little bit, but... I mean, it's not like we have to win if we do it, but... why not? We'll go ahead and get some more prisoners. We can try again when the dust is settled. Well... Did I forget to put money in here? I forgot to put money in there. Dang it! What in the world? What are you doing over here? Get back over there. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody from the Moth side, whenever they go back to something, shifts just a little bit to get a little weird. You know, we learned that they were not very helpful. Try that again, shall we? This time we pay attention. Oh dear. Oh no, we came with Mystique this time. That could be a little rougher. And now we've got some dread to worry about. Let's go ahead and get rid of that if you don't mind. Let's see. Partridge claims to have identified consistent features among those who ascended. All of them had passed the stag door and were accounted no. And were accounted no. And were accounted no. All of them... Okay, we have another level of cultists here. All of them spoke the Khalidate invocation, or greater rite, at the start of their ascension, and all of them were rich. Being rich definitely does help a lot, that's for, I'll just say that. Alright, another Tantra. Michael Blockley, the eccentric iron magnate, was fond of quoting from this Tantra. Blockley died in a factory fire! Oh dear lord. Dialogues with the entity called the Crucible Prince. The prince warns about the appetites of his mistress, the Burning Queen, and the peril of the naked desire she shares with the sun, but professes his loyalty nevertheless. Interesting stuff. Alrighty. Yep, it looks like we got that happening again. Throw some winter in there, I suppose. Next time we have to just watch out for the funds, and we have to make sure we got enough in there. I mean, it's better than taking a wound. Nobody got wounded and all that, I hope. At least I don't think so. Yeah, no, nobody got wounded. They just got kicked out. That's fine. Go ahead and get rid of you. Thank you very much. Our laundry is at home. She will certainly keep us from falling. So we got the winter. We're good from there. Let's go ahead and get the edge in there now. Victor, you're up. And that should be enough of the aspects. A right which changes is necessarily a right which destroys, but a great change requires a destruction of savage extent. Beginning to wonder if that factory fire of his was not an accident. Okay, the one known extant copy of this in Western Europe was stolen from the British Library in 1892. One Harvey Hattington confessed to the crime and claimed to have eaten it, but with butter and garlic, in a moment of ungovernable whimsy. Yep, that's moth for you. Herein the great hooded princes are shown beseeching the wood to rise. Oh, because it's about the wood. The wood is all about the moth. Gotcha. To rise and devour the invading Tumerid army. The Dapple King, the Honey Tree, and the Sea Twins all deny their request until they enlist the help of a burrowing secret keeper. Burrowing secret keeper. Is that a mole? I mean, I would think Mother of Ants would be... That's what that tells me, but, you know. Oh, they failed. Oh, well. That's not good. And they got wounded. Not good. Alright, I need to stop sending people to go do stuff for me like that. I should just go do it myself. Alrighty, what else we got here? Okay, we're doing fine there. Since we ran out of money last time, let's make sure we don't do that. I do wonder if there's a way to heal the decrepitude, though. Maybe before I give up my power, I should try doing a few more things. Armed with blackmail material from the burrowing secret keeper. That must be the Mother of Ants. Or Ant Mother, or yeah. That has to be the Mother of Ants who they got the blackmail from. The great hooded princes petition the powers of the wood for a second time, and are successful. 1/4 of the Tumerid army is devoured by bees, 1/4 drowns themselves, and 1/4 disrobe themselves until nothing remains. Oh, so look, it's a Scottish army. Alrighty, the Furious Tantra. As later described by the medium and pyrotechnician Jacob Oliver, Top Mugglestone, that's a name, tradition has it that he found it seared in the bark of an oak by lightning. Okay, this tantra describes the uses and dangers of anger. It cautions that anger does not always survive transformations. Ooh. Notice that word transformations. Makes me wonder if this is an edged tome, if it's warding against Forge, because I know that the Lionsmith and the Colonel are not supposed to be friends, if I recall. The Watcher's one would certainly regret standing against us. Let's give him just more money, because I definitely don't want to mess up there. Alright, he's got himself another scar. Or, well, he's got his first scar. Congratulations, Eldridge. You're not a proper cultist without some scars, am I right? Now what? We're gonna have to deal with this notoriety, aren't we? Well, that's a problem. That's the problem. Oh, lovely. This is going to... Well, no, I think we'll have enough time, but that won't be a problem. Let's just keep reading our books and doing just fine. A full moon appears. Creatures are reborn, and even a lizard should not be slain, for it could be you. Wait, what? Okay, well, we got a rite. This rite enacts the teaching of the Ford of Days. The artisan may achieve their highest goal only by destroying their most precious tool. The lionsmith knew this when he shattered his sword before the colonel, so my assistant must destroy a chosen instrument. What'd I tell you about the lionsmith and the colonel? I know they got history. That being said, I do wonder. Alrighty then, let's... Well, they're gonna get that notoriety. It's fine. We're not gonna plan on doing too much about notoriety, really. We're just doing a study day, after all. Against the Sisterhood of the Knot. Against the Sisterhood of the Knot and the foulness of the depraved customs. Hieronymus pseudo hypernototamachus. Oh my goodness, don't read that off to one at a time. Hypnerotamachus wrote this furious screed about the sinister influence of the Sisterhood on his own church of the Unconquered Sun. Wonder what the Unconquered Sun is. Hieronymus claims the powers served by the Sisterhood of the Knot made an arrangement. The Thunderskin loved the Yew, and the Grail destroyed him. As restitution for the destruction of the Axe's loved one, Hieronymus' writing becomes incoherent with rage at this point. Hieronymus claims that the powers served by the Sisterhood of the Knot. Okay. Made an arrangement. The Thunderskin loved the Yew, and the Grail destroyed him. As restitution for the destruction of the Axe's loved one. The Grail destroyed him. So the Grail destroyed the Yew. For destruction. And I guess the Thunderskin killed the Axe? Wait. There's restitution for the destruction of the Axe's loved... No, never mind. The Axe's loved ones. Okay. I can't believe I'm getting so into reading all this stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time that I'd be able to work with the other stuff. The Elegiast knows what is already lost. His power will almost certainly protect us. Here's hoping. Here's another coin for a little extra luck. And that will finish off the lands beyond the forests. Alrighty then. Is it just me, or does that move a lot? Let's see. Hieronymus recovers his composure, eventually, to describe how the Thunderskin entered the mantis through the peacock door. This, Hieronymus insists, is abomination upon abomination, but then that most abominable of doors has always been an abomination. The Thunderskin entered the mantis through the peacock door. What exactly do you mean by that? The peacock door is more of an eye. Then again, wasn't the Thunderskin supposed to be more of a sound thing? It's occult stuff. You know how it goes. The Serenity of the Blackwood, an allegorical history of the House of Leith, who it is here implied were inspired by the centipede. Sereno Blackwood is an occult alias to this day. The proverbial footloose gathers travelers in a wood, and leads them through, but abandons them part way. They find themselves beset by glorious monsters. Oh dear. I wonder if the lionsmith has something to do with that. Alrighty, let's see what happens. Okay. Question. We got the desire about to come up. Should we go ahead and just use the prisoner, or let them be eaten? Yeah, let's let them be eaten. Yay, we got through. Okay. I'm gonna go start hunting for people myself now. Assuming we don't have evidence made of us. I do wonder if you get any perks for having higher power at all anyways. There's the obsession. Pulling that. Oh, we got so lucky. Oh. Really? A desire after a desire? Come on. Yo, crazy. That means it's all been wasted because I'll get hungry again after the next desire. What the frick, mate? Oh, this game. What happened here? The travelers discover they can survive if they close their eyes. They adopt a closed eye as their sign, and that they can... A closed eye as their sign. Okay. and that they can go unnoticed if they drink from the clear, cold streams. They never forget that proverbial Footless, the centipede, but they never forgive her either. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that is Centipede Testament. Okay, there is a lot of funky centipede. Centipede. Centipedes are kind of like worms, aren't they? Wait, what is this? Aspect requires obsessive research. Never no skill. I think that is another version of the open soul, I'm guessing. Oh dear lordy. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay, well. Oh boy, there's a lot to go on here. Alright, we finished. The nourishment of blossoms. The fox lilies are white as cave skin, white as frost, white as unsullied sheets. It is hard to look away. We will close our eyes and struggle away with our treasures. We got some vital pigments. I have to figure out what the best way of using these pigments are. The Byzantine tinct. That's another pigment. This one's for knock. Xanthotic essence. In certain operations of the forge, sunlight is said to overcome moonlight. This is like playing the ultimate version of Dark Souls lore finders. You get all these items and things, but everything's a snippet. Never fully told out. I'll go ahead and put you over with these guys then. And that's it. And there we go. We have finished off that problem. Okay, cool. Next book. The Thirsting Tantra, C.G. Burial. The Temperance Campaigner published elements of this in a pamphlet, which had to be withdrawn and destroyed after it became too popular. A disquisition on the many varieties of thirst, their uses, and their effects. Okay, lovely. We just got a few more to go. And we'll have to have some reason at the ready. Is that one fixed? That's fixed. Good. Good job. The Tantra describes how the satisfaction of thirsts may allow a mortal to rise into the service of the thirsting power, but warns of the consequences of rejecting those rarer thirsts for common ones. A man who thirsts, O mighty one, whose mind clings to action in this world, will return to this world of action from that other place. The rite of feasting. We already got that right. We did get some more lore. Cool. I think we really could be able to beat the game at this point. We've got a lot of high-powered stuff. Okay. Then have some reason. Cool. Time to read another Tantra. The Tantra of Worms! The Tantra explains various less than practical countermeasures against the worms. The serpents which are not serpents. Okay, Moth and Winter are closest to them, and so understand their weakness. But both have their own perils. The Lionsmith crushes them, but that's not recommended for mortals. Okay, so I guess the Lionsmith doesn't like the worms. The worms, the serpents, and the ants. That seems to be, like, creatures that crawl, I guess, is what that they all have in common. I do wonder if these memories have any other use other than using to get some extra fascination and such. The worms have always been eager to inhabit us. Here are the practices which make us inhospitable to them. There are diagrams. The diagrams are not good to look upon, and none of the practices they depict would allow the subject to survive. Oh dear, it's a winter tome. Lovely. Okay. Guess that makes sense. Next up, How the End Will Begin, a prophecy of the Wars of the Roads, recorded in the subcontinent in the days before the Great Hooded Princes. In the foretold war, the children of the Leashed Flame march on the cities of the continent. But the enactors of solar law and the Triple Sisterhood join forces to hold them back at tremendous cost. I'm guessing that was that cult who's very much into the Splendor, and the Triple Sisterhood's the Sisterhood of the Knot? Yeah. The fact that their names are in quotation tells me it's not their real names. Alright, we just got a few more books here, and we'll be just about done. Just making sure we have plenty of funds, because it tends to go down very quickly if you're not paying attention. Oops. Buy ourselves a prisoner, I mean a hireling. In that battle between imperishable legions and the Leashed Flame, the legions will perish and the flame will be unleashed. Woo! That's the highest lore of Edge. 14. It's only a little bit higher than 12, but you know what? It has a silver name, or blue name, or whatever name. The Colonel and the Lionsmith are gods who are flesh, but the Wolf Divided is a god who is blood. Cunning, strength, and agony are the three roots of victory, and here is their secret doctrine. I wonder if you have to get the top level lore to win, or if it's just having a matter of power. Hard to say. Guess we can find out. Another one to go. The Ceaseless Tantra. The avant-garde choreographer Nicholas Kearley supposedly incorporated this tantra into his menacing ballets. The Ceaseless Tantra is devoted mostly to warnings about the lively creatures called percussicants. Ooh, I know what those are. But concludes with a chant which can be used to summon them. It observes that percussicants can be taught any dance, but they prefer only one. I'm guessing the Dance of Death? Alrighty. Yeah, I think for now are... Okay, you're gonna disappear. And once that's done, I'll go ahead and hire you on. Or, I mean, I'll get rid of you, I meant. And let's see, from here... That which does not cease is not ceased. That makes total sense. I get that entirely. The Encircling Tantra. So many tantras. The explorer and entrepreneur T. Everett Duplantis once attempted to plunder the temple where this text was held. His fate is recorded in an appendix. The Encircling Tantra speaks of the Serpent Gate, that hungry portal sometimes known as the Spider's Door, which is sacred to the Mother of Ants, through which the great hooded princes pass. Interesting. Very interesting. So the Spider's Door is valued by the Mother of Ants. Interesting. Good to know, I suppose. Come on, hurry up over there, investigator. Don't dawdle. Alrighty then. Oh, great. We have another desire day, so we have to really decide if we want to eat him or put him on the spider door. The Tantra includes an invocation but cautions, helpfully, that the invocation of insufficient power to reach the Serpent Gate from the Hunter's Gate. A road which has no destination is itself a destination, it adds helpfully. And we get a little bit more lore of Nock. Cool. Then the known unknown Tantra. Carlos Garcia Sauri, the ecstatic mystic of the Pyrenees, was known to recite this in 3 languages, though he had never visited the subcontinent. What's the subcontinent? Is that supposed to be Africa? The known unknown tantra describes a journey to the white door of the mantis, beyond which speech ceases. It describes a mantra which can be used at the right place and time to achieve that door. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and put you away if you don't mind. And we're going to have to use him. There we go. And then Dorothy, if you would be so kind to deal with that notoriety problem for me. Then one more book to go. Wait. Oh, come on! That's rude! It pulled it right out from me. Anything else I can work with? Probably not. Oh, well. Well, that's that. I mean, technically I could take these henchmen of mine and just throw them in the prison, but that's a little rude, don't you think? In the most notorious translation of the Leonine Tantra, that sounds to me like Lionsmith, Ashley Phillips is listed as the translator, but their existence is explicitly denied in the prologue. This confusion is characteristic of books which mention the Great Hooded Princess. These Great Hooded Princesses really do show up a lot, don't they? In these tantras. The tantra describes elliptically the Great Hooded Princes and the multitudinous ways in which they influenced wars against foreign invaders of the land of the Great River, which is India. Although, in a sense, they were also invaders. Maybe the Great Hooded Princes were just in India. India, Rome, Europe. Seems like there's a lot of correlation between those areas, isn't it? Byzantine Empire was mentioned before. Enjoy. Hope you enjoyed that power. Frickin' power-hungry madness. Now I have to go get another person. Oh, I got some glimmering. Ooh, and we also got some moth. Interesting. Yeah, we got rid of that. Nice, nice, nice. The Leonine Tantra. Lions can be created, not as children are created, nor as words are created, but as weapons are created. The Great Hooded Princes learnt to create lions from their spyings on the affairs of the hours, and not all lions now serve the Golden General. Golden General. Is that supposed to be the Colonel? And there we have it! We have read all our current books. We just have a couple books to translate here, and I think that'll be just about wrap everything up what we're doing for today. But yeah, my goodness, we definitely have gotten a lot further along, and that was some restlessness, which is going to turn to dread. That's going to be a thing. Okay, lovely. We have quite a bit of power. We have ourselves a very powerful item. We have pretty strong in the level of the mantras. We're going to get ourselves another prisoner. We're growing in desire power. That's great for us. Little nervous on how some of this is going to work in the end, but, you know, it is what it is. But I still do want to go a little bit further in the area of the land, so I don't know about y'all, but I do want to keep on going and going higher on these levels. So we're going to explore these. We're not going to, since I'm pretty sure we have enough lantern to be able to reach the desire we want. This is no speed run. This is a lore run, pretty much. So we're going to go through this as best we can. I wonder if somebody has gone through all the books and listed out, like, what they're referencing and things. Mallory? Okay. Hey, nice. We got 4 of those. That means we can get 2 places above. Very nice, very nice. That is pretty darn good. And now we've got that translated, and I guess this is a good place for us to call it today. We have definitely made a lot of progress. We've finished everything up on the levels beyond the forest. And then we are going to be going into the Rending Mountains next time. And we're going to be trying to study a bit more on raising up to the next level of areas. We got a few books here we still need to get the language for on that. Count and condition the spider's door. We got 2 more books to read, and after that, we're going to be probably focusing more on drilling through the Mansis to get more through that. So yeah, we got a lot more to go, but my goodness, have we grown powerful. Ha 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 ha. Oh, it shouldn't take much more, I imagine. But yes, I want to thank you very much for joining me through here. Y'all be sure to live life to the max.